hello everybody. This is Mobius1 here, joined with Porg Depot. How's it going?
Pretty good. ObiWein from Port Depot. Yeah.
ObiWein, yeah, I should have said that.
How's it?
Anyway, uh,
It's all right.
yeah, first of all, I just want to start off by saying, before we talk about anything else, I frequently create scripts for the videos that I do because I struggle horribly with like not knowing what to say or how I want to say it. And even with the script, I usually end up doing multiple takes for some lines. None of that today. This is going to be totally just us talking. So I apologize for any awkward pauses or cringe. But what we're here today to do is, yesterday, FFG put out an article with a bunch of hints of stuff that's going to be coming in the next set, A Lawless Time, in March. It's one of my favorite things that they do each set because I love getting the little teasers and kind of trying to theory craft what they might be hinting at. And this time, I decided to reach out here to ObiWein and see if we can just go through the article, talk about what we think they might have in store for us, and yeah, just have some fun. What do you think?
I'm in. Let's do it.
All right. We may, depending on how long this goes, we may split this into two videos. The article is divided into 4 different sections, so we'll see how long it takes us. We might. I'm a huge nerd. I don't know how nerdy you are when it comes to some of this stuff, or how deep your Star Wars lore goes, but we're gonna find out.
It generally goes pretty deep, although I did have to reference Wikipedia today quite a bit to try and get some ideas on some of them.
All right, excellent.
But yeah, we can go pretty deep.
I love it. Just to get a bit of background on you, so what kind of... Tell me about... I know you've got a website. Go ahead and talk about it for a bit.
Yeah, so I mean, Pork Depot started. I wrote one article for a site called SWU Harvest. It started just as an essay. Somebody in Discord, I think, called me a boomer gamer. I'm older than I look. I mean, I started playing Magic back in late '93. So it was just as Unlimited was ending. So I've been around a while. Somebody called me a boomer gamer. I wrote an essay about that, got it on a website. Eventually, the guys that ran SWU Harvest were shutting down. And I was like, oh, but hey, here's all my content. And I was like, all right, well, let's create a site. The Pork Depot aspect, I had gone with a couple of my buddies that are also involved in Pork Depot. We had gone to the Star Wars Hotel, and one of the cast members asked us, like, hey, what are we doing? And we're like, oh, well, one of them said real quick, like, hey, we're smuggling porks. So that just became a thing, and it worked out. Our color scheme is the orange, which is nice because there's no aspect for orange, so that
keeps you
really well.
Keeps you free.
It keeps us there. And whatever. A lot of the stuff that we do, we definitely do all our pricing commentary for showcase tracking, legendary tracking, stuff like that. But a lot of it is just tongue-in-cheek satire kind of things. Like we'll do the poking fun at the tier list. Like everybody does, like, hey, here's the leader tier list, and like who's the most powerful leaders in a given set, and that sort of thing. And it's like, all right, everybody's doing that, so I'm just going to make a tier list of the leader artwork, right? And it's or hey, let's do a tier list of the tokens, right? Or what can people use as an initiative token, right?
That's what I wanted to say. I'm a huge fan of your custom the tokens that you guys have been doing since. Did you? I remember the JTL for the X-Wing and TIE Fighters. Was that your first time doing it, or did you also do Twilight tokens?
So we did. Yes, we did some Twilight. So we had battle droids and the clone troopers as well. Okay,
I don't know if I saw them or not. They're on your website though, in the library.
Yeah, they're on there. We've got the little.
I'll put some of the pictures up for the video.
Token gallery. We're viciously, frantically working at creating our credit tokens. We've got some really good ideas for that. It's just fun. I mean, it's I don't know. It made it fun. The first ones that we were putting together, it was before Galactics last year. It's like, hey, we want to give something out to everybody at Galactics. So what are we going to do? And it's like, all right, well, let's make tokens, right? And I don't know. People seem to love them.
I should have had, if I knew that we were if I was a professional at this, I would have had the Porg token that you gave me, the chip, here on my desk. I have it in a box with a bunch of other swag, creator swag. You got one handy? Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one. Cool.
I think I don't know. I got some tokens. We've got our like spies like us.
Yeah.
Doctor. I don't know if you've seen these yet. We had done the new versions of the X-Wing TIE Fighter. We were kind of spoofing on the new galactic frames.
Yeah, they look really good.
And then we get crap on Reddit all the time for using AI for artwork. So we did this one, which looks like a crayon drawing, but it's a little small to see, but the subtitle is artificial intelligence. And it's not only an official in the trait, but it says Porg GPT.
Exactly.
So that's like, it's really, I don't know how well that'll focus, but yeah.
I can get it off your gallery and throw an
if you're able to pop up pictures later.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just have fun with it.
I'll definitely have a link to the guy to your website in the video description if anyone wants to go check it out. There's a bunch of different cool articles and reviews and, like he said, the price tracking and stuff, which is really awesome. All right. With that out of the way, let's jump in. So the first thing that the article has is just a couple bullet points of, I guess, interesting facts would be one way to describe it. The first one being, this set contains characters from 7 different teams from throughout the Star Wars franchise, each assembled for a different heist or rescue mission. What are your thoughts there?
All right. So there's a difference between a heist and a rescue mission, right?
For sure.
So the first 2 that immediately came to mind, right, is basically all of Rogue One is a heist, right? They're trying to get the Death Star plans. So that's that's out there. That seems like an obvious one. The other super, super obvious one to me was rescuing Princess Leia from the Death Star in New Hope. So those are the big ones. Now, neither one of those is specifically called a heist.
Sure.
So when I thought
you said Rogue One. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really call it like, hey, it's not the Death Star plan heist, right? But from Andor, they do talk about the Aldhani heist.
Yep. So that's on my list.
That was the one where it's like, okay, blatantly like uses the word heist.
And we've got artwork from Andor in this set. I will also say, I don't know if you caught the live stream, the art showcase or art reveal live stream that they just did the other day, but I think it was Tyler who actually mentioned in that stream that they had a lot of characters between this set and the last set, Secrets of Power, that they exchanged, that they like swapped. So certain characters that are coming out in this next set could have been in the last one and vice versa. So the fact that there was a lot of characters from Andor in Secrets of Power, Cassian being like specifically, totally feeds into that idea as well.
Absolutely. The other one,
and like the Eye of Aldhani. Sorry, that's
the Eye of Aldhani. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of Aldhani stuff, heist wise, and there's 100%. There's characters from that heist that don't have cards yet. Nemec obviously has one. Cassian obviously has one.
But I don't think like
Cinta and Kaz, but I don't think like Skeen has a card yet.
Nope. Or what's his name? Melchi.
Yeah. So like I would expect that like those characters become our cards, right? If Aldhani heist is one of them.
The one that jumped out is me. Sorry. My obvious one, because we've already seen her, is the rescue of Han Solo from Jabba's palace. The one spotlight deck is Leia.
Right.
So that's probably when I can see like Lando dressed up in his like whatever outfit and C-3PO and R2-D2. So I think that's probably.
I feel like we've seen art for Lando.
We did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was spoiled in the
we've
trailer.
seen the Leia leader, and we've seen art for Lando. I imagine that one is there, and we've seen art for R2 on sort of like the edge of
sail
barge. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The other couple that I came up with, so Solo.
Yep, that's on my list also.
Okay, so Solo's got a couple. So they got the train heist scene,
Mm-hmm.
or I think they refer to it as the coaxium job,
Yep.
right? And then they also that's the
Uh,
movie with the
I
Kessel
love that.
Run.
I love how we can geek out over a lot of stuff here just based on the terms and the names that you're dropping. I'm getting excited. All right, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, all good. But then it's also that's the movie where they finally showed the Kessel Run, right? So
Yep.
it's like okay, like so
Well, there was
you
also the
know
heist on Kessel where
on
Han
Kessel,
and
right?
Chewie like posed as slaves for sale, and Kira and all that. So you could do that scene. You could do the train scene. Yeah.
Right. So there's definitely something going on there. And then like I said, I was down the rabbit hole. There's a bunch of other things that in like Clone Wars has a couple things that there's like a holocron heist. There's
Man, you did
you know
dive deep on just this first point, which is
I know
awesome.
there's the I guess like the box where Cad Bane is sort of doing like the reverse heist where he's trying to like get into the puzzle room.
I was gonna say, is that like that was like where they had to like do puzzles to like get through or get out or get into? Like I
Something.
don't. I vaguely remember. It's been a long time since I watched.
It's been a
Clone
long
Wars.
time. Yeah, it's been a long time. There's definitely something from the Darth Vader comics where there's like an archaeologist heist type thing with Afra. Like Vader is always tasking Afra to go and get stuff. So there's like potentially like that may count as one of the heist teams. And then I was also specifically looking for like, okay, all of the heist rescue teams can't be on the heroic side. Like there's got to be villain side teams. So that might play in that case, and especially because we saw the 000 artwork earlier today.
I did put Dr. Afra on my list. I mentioned briefly before we started recording. I haven't read any of the comics that she's from, so I have no context for any of those characters. But I do know of her and like her droids, which I think they're going to come up a little bit later when we talk about something else.
Yep.
But I'm now realizing that I actually misread this. I didn't realize that each team was specifically assembled for a heist. I thought that those were kind of like two different things where it could have been just like teams or whatever. Because if I'm looking at my list now, I put things like the Spectres, like the Ghost Crew on there. I guess you can say that they've probably pulled heists at some point.
They definitei did.
I also put.
I mean, it becomes a question of like, well,
how
were they
specific?
assembled for a heist? Like, I
Right.
don't, it's like,
I did put the Cad Bane crew on here, although again, I didn't have any specific heist or anything in mind. What else? I did hit the Aldani heist, the Solo movie, and that so those were like my 7 main ones with rescuing Han. I have like notable others, ones that I don't think are actually going to be in this, but wild guesses that I just wanted to throw out there. In the art stream, we did see the Master Codebreaker from Last Jedi. When Finn and Rose went to oh my god, Canto Bight to find the code breaker. So that was kind of like a rescue mission thing, but the team is what it was BB-8 and 2 others, so probably not.
Yeah, I mean,
and then the ESB, the Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters that were assembled to get the Millennium Falcon for Vader. Just because I was trying to think of like some more dark sidey things.
Right,
it's not really a
some
heist.
villain stuff. Yeah.
Because I can see like a Boba, Dengar.
I really like that art for the Cantobite gambling scene with the Codebreaker there.
Because DJ could be part of that.
DJ could be part of it.
There's potential there, but I doubt it.
That to me, that artwork looked like an event.
Yeah, that could be. That makes sense. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, how long did we spend on that one? Almost 15 minutes. Yeah, this might be a long video, so sit back and relax, ladies and gentlemen. All right, point number 2. Let's keep it moving. Small but memorable sub-theme within this set revolves around exchanging control of game pieces with 9 total cards, either giving away, taking, or exchanging cards with an opponent. What do you think of that?
So the first thing that I thought of is it's got to be something with credits. So credits is the token from the set. It's sort of the
new
one
mechanic.
of the hallmark mechanics, right,
Yep.
of lawless time, right? So giving away, taking, exchanging, like maybe there could be
I have an
events
idea.
and different things where you're sort of like gambling with the credits or doing something where
Or how about hiring your opponent's units to work for you? So
that would be an awesome one.
take control
Yeah.
of an enemy non-leader unit. That if you do, that player creates 2 credit tokens or something like that.
Or the reverse, you have to pay 1
Give
credit
up
per
one of
turn, or
yours.
you have to give it back,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, there's definitely plenty of design space for doing that kind of thing. I thought that this clue was probably a little vague because it could go in so many directions. But I think I like that the developers are exploring themes where, like, okay, hey, like, like how can more interaction beyond just my unit attacks your unit, right? There can be other things going on like that. That makes it fun.
You have to play with the design space that's available to you. Like one of the first things that I was thinking about a year ago now at this point was we've had the rare bases with less than 30 HP and a benefit. When are we going to see a base with more than 30 HP with a drawback? And we got Data Vault. Whether that's really a drawback or not is debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable.
But that's what I'm saying, which is like when you have that design space to work with, it's nice to actually see them take advantage of that. And I agree that I think this is a good way for them to do that with the credit tokens because it is very thematic and there's some cool stuff there.
Right.
All right, there are multiple leaders with more than one non-hero / villain aspect in the set. So we've already seen DJ. I think people were very excited when they first revealed him because it did open up the doors to a lot of potential stuff that they could do. DJ himself, I don't think really exploded in popularity the way people thought he would or wanted him to. But this is interesting.
So this is interesting. This one, to some extent, gives me a headache. And I'll tell you why. So DJ is fine because, okay, he's got the double yellow and you compare him with another base, another aspect from a base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but it's still 2 colored
Correct.
aspects for, okay. And you have to exclude obviously the hero and villain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. So that's double yellow. You could get double blue, double red, double green. Fine. Those are easy. It's not a giant mental leap there. The part where I get a headache, and it could be a problem, is if they start to say, okay, here's a leader with, well, 2 things. Any of those double colored, but then it still happens to have hero and villain, or hero or villain, right? That could be busted. So basically 3 aspects, right? You give it the 2 colored aspects plus then hero, for example.
We will interrupt you real quick just because it does say multiple leaders with more than one. Oh, well, okay. It says more than one non-hero villain, but it doesn't say that they don't.
It doesn't say that it would be.
Yeah.
So
I would be really surprised if they do that.
I would be surprised. But listen,
fair point.
There's nothing mechanically that stops the game from
Correct.
saying like that there could be 3 aspects, and there are cards now with 3 aspects on them.
Yep.
Which brings me to the second thing that gives me a headache, potentially more of a headache, is that instead of 2 of the same aspect at a single color, you could have 1 command aspect, 1 aggression aspect.
It's going to happen.
Whether the hero or villain is there, who knows, right? Take that out for a minute. But then you compare a red-green leader with a blue base, and you basically are playing 3 of the aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, right? So it's part of the problem with DJ was that when you take the hero and the villain out of it, you're so much reducing your card pool in what you can actually build with, that it makes it very difficult. Right. So it's like, hey, I can play cunning, with no aspect penalty. Okay, cool. And, without being just solid yellow. Right.
But now you can't play the Millennium Falcon because it's yellow.
Now you can't play the Falcon. Now you can't do this. You can't do that. Right. So I don't know. And especially with Premiere, with the rotation, that's also going to cut the card pool down. So instead of 6 sets, we're going to be down to 4.
Yep.
Is there going to be enough stuff that doesn't have hero and villain? Now, the other thing, I was talking to one of the other Porg Depot guys, Veers21. One of the things he brought up was, well, what if there's a base that has a hero aspect and a base that has a villain aspect? And I was like, oh god, like
double hero cards and double villain cards.
Yeah, so there could be double hero cards, double villain cards. There could be, obviously you would need a rules update that says that you can't mix and match. Like you can only have hero aspect or villain aspect.
It's a twin sons nightmare.
So that then it becomes like a mess, and that's why I say like it. This one gives me headaches. I like that they're exploring the design space, starting with DJ, and it obviously opens things up, and and talking about multiple colors and things like that. Like the units that we've seen so far are very cool, right? They pull in flavor from, multiple aspects into the single card. Like it's great. I hope they're careful.
Yeah.
When it comes to the leader stuff.
I think I'm more excited for it than I am worried about it, but I definitely agree that it is going to be it's going to cause headaches in terms of knowing what to play around. Like right now, if you sit down and you see your opponents playing red green villain, you don't really have to worry about removal that much. I mean, overwhelming barrage, but you know what I'm saying, like hard removal, like Fell the Dragon, Rivals Fall, that sort of thing.
Right. Sure.
You have a better idea of what cards your opponent's going to be playing when they are locked into 2 colors than somebody's playing, like you said, a red yellow leader with a green base or something like that. You now have 50% more like cards to try and predict than you would otherwise. Yes, you don't get access to the white or the black ones, but yeah. The other thing that's kind of an issue with the way resourcing and the aspect colors work in Star Wars Unlimited that's different than, say, a game like Magic the Gathering is because we don't have lands that are tied to a specific color. The more colors you try to jam into like a Magic the Gathering deck, the less consistent it is, because now you can only play your red cards if you play your mountains, or you can only play your blue cards if you get your islands. With Star Wars, if you've got the aspects on your leader and your base, it doesn't matter what you draw, you can still play it. So it is going to be it's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to see how it works. And you could
potentially splash much easier, right? So
correct.
The vigilance villain card, right? In a I don't know, a command aggression hero deck, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to take a 4 aspect penalty, but if you can do command aggression, and vigilance hero deck somehow, right? Then you say, well, then it's only the 2 penalty. It's maybe not that bad. Maybe it's worth splashing. I don't know. I like that they think outside the box for some of this stuff. I think it opens up design space for them. It opens up deck building space for us as the players. I don't know. 2 things. One, I hope it goes well. I hope it's not too overpowered, right? But it's like, I also hope that it doesn't crash and burn. Like, if they make a whole bunch of leaders that are, have these, multiple aspect things, and then it's like, okay, and they all get received and played as much as DJ, then, okay.
That reminds me, I didn't put this in my notes, but you saying that now reminds me of a concern that I thought of previously, which is as they're revealing all of these 3 aspect units, I should say cards, even though I don't think we've seen any 3 aspect events yet. It does have the potential, depending on how many 3 aspect cards are in this set, that does have the potential to kind of lock down viable deck archetypes. Like, if we get a powerhouse card that's command, aggression, villainy, and everybody wants to play that card, now you're only going to see command, aggression, villainy decks in the meta, and there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 leaders that work with that color combination, therefore that leader starts seeing more play. So they need to introduce those cards, but not flood the card pool with them. Especially since, to your earlier point, we're going to be losing 3 sets worth of cards So I can see a world where that hurts the community a little bit, but I'm not really expecting that. I'm just cautious about it.
They just need to get ready with this suspension hammer, and then I don't know. If anything becomes really ridiculous, then I'm not worried. I mean, they've taken action for that kind of stuff in the past, so I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Cool. All right, this next one, I'm pretty sure this will be the shortest one that we talk about. This set contains 32 different alien species among its non-unique units. Among those alien species, Ithorians appear the most often. Now, I went back and pulled up the Outer Rim Mystic from Legends of the Force, which was like that, 3-cost 2/6 command unit. Because it's an Ithorian, I remember that it was an Ithorian, and Ithorian is not a trait in the game. So what this is not saying is that there are 32 different alien traits. It's just saying, like, the art is just going to have 32 different aliens.
Right, so it's not necessarily going to be Wookiee as a trait. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So there's going to be 32 different alien species among the non-unique unit art, I guess. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you go into the cantina scene from New Hope, and there's like at least 32 different alien species in there. So, like, okay, cool.
Yep. All right. But speaking of traits, a new trait is introduced in this set for 2 unique units. This trait will be used rarely, as it's for a kind of character that isn't common in Star Wars, but every appearance is memorable. I have a good guess what this might be. What do you think?
So, I will be shocked if it is not the trait musician.
Ooh.
So I
think I like your idea better than me. Better than mine.
And listen, I have no spoilers. I have not seen anything other than what's publicly available.
Go ahead. Your idea makes more sense than mine.
We've seen art from Max Rebo.
Yeah.
We've seen sort of as a close-up shot. We've seen some art of the whole Jabba's Palace band.
Sice Noodles.
Yeah.
Sice Noodles, whatever her name is.
There, Figure and Dan, obviously in New Hope. Like, I don't know that there's musicians outside of those 2 scenes, right? So maybe there is. Maybe I'm forgetting one.
So in the Solo movie, there's that floating head in a jar thing had like a singing number when Han meets back up with Kira later in the movie. There's that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that I remember. I'm sure there's others. But yeah, I think that's a good guess.
So here's the thing. So it's definitely something rare in the Star Wars universe, right? There's basically 2-3 scenes, I guess, with that other one. They're generally memorable scenes because they have musical numbers.
Yep.
I don't know.
Dude, that's such a good guess.
That's my call. As a musician, I would bet money on it if I could.
Bet credit tokens on it.
Yeah, that's
now guess. I feel stupid. My guess.
What are you going to say? I mean,
my guess was the Force Ghost trait.
Ooh, see, I don't know, man. That's a good one.
But it would have made more sense for that to be in like Legends of the Force than a Lawless time. But I'm thinking like ObiWein coming back as a Force Ghost, or like Yoda in Last Jedi or something like that.
Yeah, well, Anakin comes up at the end of Jedi as a ghost.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, think of it. Yeah, Ghost or Force Ghost. I mean, that's not bad. I like that one.
I felt really good about it until you said musician, and then I'm like,
musician?
That makes so much more sense than mine. But maybe one day we'll see Force Ghost.
I like that we both came up with something, different.
Yeah.
Had we both landed on the same thing, it would have been weird.
All right. This set introduces a verb to our card templating terminology for a kind of effect that we've had in card abilities since Spark of Rebellion. Now, I think we already know for sure what this is.
We do?
In one of the spoilers that they put out recently. What did you have any thoughts on this before I pull it up?
So I was thinking when I first read the Han Solo unit from Spark of Rebellion, his ability is basically first strike from Magic the Gathering, right? He does his damage before the defender would damage back, right?
Yep.
So the phrase "while attacking, this unit deals combat damage before the defender" is quite wordy. It could be replaced with some new term that becomes an evergreen term that basically means that.
Yep.
That was my guess. I don't know. I mean, if there was something else, I don't recall anything from the recent spoilers.
Now, I'll put this image up in the video, but I am just quickly opening Discord in a different tab so I can send you an image of the recent Maul spoiler that we got, whose trigger is when attack ends. I think this is just going to be their new templating for when this unit completes an attack, which has been in the game since Spark of Rebellion.
So that's not bad. I like that. However, I'll tell you why I think that might not be the case. Completing attack and when the attack ends may not be the same. So
that's a good point.
Up until now, completing the attack, the unit had to survive the attack.
Correct.
When the attack ends, the attack could end in the units to be defeated.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. My thinking was, sorry, go ahead.
No, it could be different. If they mean the same thing, that would 100% make sense. Like I get that templating would make sense.
My logic, which could be totally wrong, is if the unit is defeated before like the last like attack ends step, then that ability would not trigger because the attack never reached to the point where it ends. But I totally see your point where like, yeah, if the unit dies and the attack is over, then technically the attack ended.
Technically ends.
Yeah.
It just wasn't
true.
It didn't complete necessarily, but it did end.
Yeah. I guess my idea only works if they rewrite the attack rules, the attack steps rules to include like a specific trigger point for attack ending.
Well, and I mean, they rewrite the rules or make adjustments to them every set. So, I mean, that's definitely not outside the realm of possibility.
That was my first thought. Although, yeah, yours is very interesting too, like a first strike kind of ability.
It could be like a first strike thing. That was the first thing that popped into my head. Was that, do something where, where it's like, it becomes an evergreen term like raid. Right, where it's they could write out what raid means on every card. But
I don't know if you're a Magic player, but like I think Scry from Magic the Gathering was an ability that used to have a bunch of text, and they were like, all right, we just like this effect.
Right,
we're going to make it a keyword.
And they turned it into Scry. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe they have to pay the card printers by character. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. All right. The last one for this section is the leaders in this set are designed with higher risk, higher reward mechanics than the kinds of leaders we've designed in the past. You have to be strategic about when and how you spend your resources or discard your cards, defeat your units, or give tools to your opponent, like credit tokens, in order to reach their full potential. Sure. That's a little concerning.
This sounds good in theory.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that it sounds good at all, but go ahead.
It could be a giant problem. So it's, I think, relatively widely accepted that leader design has been a little bit of a problem in some aspects of it. Any single one of these, if the risk reward piece, I like that, right? High risk, high reward. Okay, cool. Just a leader that's just stats ends up being so much more consistent.
That
they probably end up being the more relied upon competitive format leaders, because you don't have like wild swings, right? Over the course of however many rounds, best of threes in a giant event, you don't want. Yeah, you don't
high
want
risk,
those
high
wild
reward.
swings. You can't expect to do it every time, right?
Yep.
Now, the other on that, so okay, if that's the case, then they're all going to stink, right? On the flip side, if the risks are too easily mitigated, maybe one, maybe two, three, a small portion of these high risk, high reward leaders are way too good.
Yep.
Because you won't be able to. If the downside isn't a big deal, then it's like, oh, well, obviously I'm going to play with the thing that has the massive upside.
Yep.
So that could also be a problem.
I think a lot, as you were saying, a lot of the leaders that see play are the leaders that were designed with abilities that generally work a lot of the time and don't require much, if any, setup. Like look at Han 2, for example. Any unit in the game, you can benefit from his ability. Compare that to like Hondo from set 2, which only works with smuggle cards, sees absolutely zero play. Now, maybe these high risk, high rewards will be general strategies, like discard the top card of your deck if it's an odd cost, do a thing. Like kind of looking like Han 4. In that case, as you were saying, you can mitigate that risk by building your deck in such a way that works with that.
I just worry that the best way to mitigate the risk might be to not play with the leaders.
Got it. Yep.
I mean, the best example that I could think of out of stuff that we've seen already is the Dooku leader with exploit, right? Mm-hmm. I would consider him high risk, high reward, right? So you have to
have a board,
get rid of a whole bunch of units in play that allows you to put something out bigger than what you would normally get for that resource cost. Great. High reward for the risk that you're taking to do it, and then somebody fells the dragon, the thing, or whatever, right?
Yep.
And okay, oops, it's gone. And so what happens? Nobody plays that leader.
Yep.
That's my fear. Is again similar to the aspect thing. Like I'm glad that they're pushing things, but I worry.
Well, we can kind of already see that with the Leia Spotlight leader. So 5 resources to deploy her. She comes into play as a 2/2. But when you deploy her, choose a unit, give an experience token to that unit for each different aspect among units you control. That's kind of already high risk, high reward, because it's high reward if you have a wide board of a bunch of different aspects. But if you have an empty board and you flip her, she's a 3/3 with overwhelm, I guess. Not great.
Right.
So if that's kind of a hint at what other high risk, high reward leaders they have designed, we might be in trouble. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and whatever. The stat sticks just end up being the better leaders just because they're okay. Hey, unit. I know what I'm going to get as a free unit on whatever resource cost. Yep. Right. I don't know. I hope that's not the case.
Same. All right. So now we move on to what you expected is probably going to take up the most of our time. So let's get cracking at it. This is the next section of the article. They give us some subtitles from unique units. And the first one is Programmed to Kill. Do we want to take a guess at who this might be?
Programmed to Kill. I have a different one as a first one, but that's okay.
Okay. What was your first one?
The War Has Just Begun. Maybe I copied an old version.
Oh, interesting.
Of the article?
Yeah. Whatever. What's your first one? We could do it in whatever order you got.
So at one point there was one. Yeah, so Programmed to Kill I have as like the third one down.
The War Has Just Begun is second to last in my list. It doesn't matter. Just pick one.
All right, whatever. The War Has Just Begun. I think this one's easy. That is blatantly a line that Count Dooku says.
Really?
In Attack of the Clones. Huh. He flat out says to Sidious, the war has just begun.
Interesting. I put Luke Skywalker from Last Jedi because I thought he says that to Kylo Ren on the crate field after their little lightsaber fight. That's interesting.
Could be. I don't know.
No, yeah, it could be either.
I know for a fact Dooku says it to Sidious.
Okay, cool. Interesting. What's your next one?
All right, so mine was So Wizard was the next one.
All right, that one's pretty easy. I got two possible choices, but I would think one's much more likely than the other. Go ahead.
Okay, I would like it to be one of the kids from Skeleton Crew. I don't think that's the case.
You way different than I did. Okay,
That's what I would like it to be. I think it's going to be the little kid, and I had to look up this name. I did not know that his name was Kitster off the top of my head.
All right, so that was my second guess.
Okay, I think it'll probably be Kitster because I think he says like I think he might just blatantly say "so wizard," but I would love it if it was like Neil or one of the Skeleton Crew kids.
I think Kitster was my second prediction. My first one is just simply child Anakin as a pod racer pilot because we know we're getting pod race themed stuff. But I could easily. I did want to include Kitster on there because I think you're right. I think he is the one that says the line.
He says the line. Yeah.
Right. So I can see that being like just a unit that exists. Definitely. All right. Cool. All right. What's your next one?
I had Programmed to Kill as the next one.
Got it. All right.
I think this is probably one of Afro's 2 droids. So it's either
I put BT1
or BT1. Yeah.
I put BT1.
And my guess would be BT1.
And he's the astromech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 000 is more of like the torture droid, not necessarily like just blowing things up.
Right. Okay, that totally matches with what I have. Again, I haven't read any of the Dr. Aphra stuff, so I don't know the context, but I do know that she's got some like seditious, evil droids.
Yeah, crazy evil droids. Yeah,
sadistic.
When 000
That's the word I was
introduces himself, is like, yeah, I'm programmed for. It's similar to like 3PO's introduction, like I'm programmed for etiquette, protocol, and torture. Like,
gotcha.
Like,
is Mr. Bones from that?
Is what?
Mr. Bones, is that a character from that as well? What's he from?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I don't know where he's from.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The red. Yeah, is a double red card, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I always kind of assumed he was from the Dr. Aphra comics, but I don't know where he's from.
I don't think so.
All right, next up.
So I had to Reconsider Your Allegiance.
Okay, this was
This is tricky.
Yeah. I didn't look up what that line's from, so I put a guess down, but I could be way off.
So one guess that I had is it could be Agent Callus because he actually does change sides basically in Rebels.
We got his Alexander Callus version last set too.
So, but we just had that, so I don't know that that's it. I don't know. This one was difficult.
I put a guess down. I don't think this is. Oh, I don't know. I've only seen Rise of Skywalker one time, and I kind of have no interest to go back and watch it again. But I think it might be Ben Solo. So like when Kylo turns back to the light side at the end, I don't know if Reconsider Your Allegiance is something that like Palpatine or Snoke says to him. Well, Snoke was dead by that time, but anyway, that's the character.
Yeah, Palpatine could have said that. That's not bad. And I know we've seen art with Ben on it.
Yep, and I'll put that up on screen too right now. We just got the nice picture of him holding like the blue lightsaber, which is what gave me the idea.
That's actually really good. That I'm good with that. I think you're right.
Cool.
I can't argue there.
What's next?
Radical Instigator.
Okay.
So I feel like this could be Saw Gerrera.
That's what I put too.
I would like for it to be an R2D2 leader. I think it's probably Saw Gerrera though.
R2 could be called a lot of things. Radical Instigator is one of them. Yeah, I also put Saw Gerrera. Anytime Radical is like what he's usually called when people talk about him. So Instigator, I could see it.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
sure. What's next?
Next, Bring Down the Empire. So I had for this one, I figure it could be a Luthen card, although we just got some of those. It could be like a Mon Mothma card. It could be, I forget her name, Cassian's mom from the speech. Marva, thank you. But I think we just got her as a card as well.
Yep. And again, this is why I mentioned that point that Tyler said, where a lot of the units were swapped between sets,
flip flop back and forth. But it's like Yeah, so I don't know. It could be almost any heroic type character
I
from Andor.
I literally put someone from Andor.
Yeah, like
It's like my only
yeah,
thing. It could be
it could basically
Clea.
be any character from Andor.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to see a Clea unit. That would be cool.
Well, the problem was she was more prevalent in season 2.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
But I agree. She'll be a good card at some point.
Who's
Hopefully.
next?
Facing the Light.
This was
So
the
this is
only.
the one-
No, sorry. I have two that I could not come up with anyone, and this was one of them.
So
It's like-
Facing the Light, this is the one where I was picturing the Ben Solo art.
It makes sense there too, for sure.
Right. So the exact same logic that you were talking about for reconsider your allegiance, I was thinking for Facing the Light.
I feel like this is probably a quote from like some niche Clone Wars episode or something that like somebody's going to be like, oh no, this was the line that like so and so said to Yoda in like episode 405. You know, like I don't know. So someone in the comments, if you know what this could be, let us know. But I had nothing for this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kylo, yeah, Ben Solo would be my guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
I could see that working.
I don't know. It could be. Yeah, I don't know. Take your pick. Any random card. Like, yeah, could be anything.
Just to get it out of the way, I'm gonna force the next one. Plays by his own rules. I also had no idea. Like, would that be Boba Fett, Cad Bane? I don't know. Like any bounty hunter that could be.
So I thought it could be a Poe Dameron card.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So, and I think it's Last Jedi.
Yeah, the opening of The Last Jedi.
He specifically defies orders, and then they I forget if it's Holdo or Leia orders him to do something, and he defies the orders.
Yep,
and
it's Leia.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking that might be Poe.
Yeah, that's a good guess actually. I'll go with that. All right, what was your actual next one?
Where's the money?
This was tough. I was thinking Big Lebowski, but I don't think he's a Star Wars character. Where's the money, Lebowski?
That's awesome.
What'd you have?
Not that. I figured it was going to be something random. It's going to be like Unkar Plot or like a new Greedo card. Something like that. I mean, I don't know.
I haven't watched Solo in a while, but I put Tobias Beckett / Dryden Voss, even though we just got Dryden Voss as both a leader and a unit, so it's probably not him.
Probably not him. When was the
Tobias
Beckett card?
Beckett was from Shadows, so
it could be a new Beckett card.
It's been him, or he's going to be rotating out, and there hasn't been another one of him yet. But I don't know if that was a quote from that movie, but it very well could have been like somewhere in that movie where they're like, "Where's the money?" I don't know. So, no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which one's left?
I don't need luck.
That one I got. I know that one for sure.
You got that one.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, who do you have for that one?
I put Lando from the Solo movie. So like young Donald Glover Lando. I don't need luck because he had the Sabat card in his sleeve.
Okay. That's
I think we
better than mine.
I think we also got art for him as well already.
Right. Okay.
So what was yours?
I like that. And my senior yearbook quote was, "In my experience, there's no such thing as luck."
Yeah.
So I was going to say that it could be old ObiWein.
It could be.
But I like yours better.
No such thing as luck.
Makes way more sense with the hidden card.
I find it very interesting that I feel like I just had my musician moment. Because you also had like old ObiWein Force idea. Okay, cool.
No, yours is, yeah, I think you're probably way more right than me. I
don't need luck versus there's no such thing as luck. I could see either way. But But yeah, I think I don't. It's another one of those things where it's been so long since I've seen the movie. I don't know if that was a quote where he actually says, "I don't need luck." It very well may be where they deal the cards. I think Han might say like "good luck," and Lando's just like, "Oh, I don't need luck."
I don't need luck.
No.
The only
Oh,
other
wait.
thing,
No. Sorry. I think Han said, maybe I got my memory is wrong. Maybe Han says it at the end of the movie after he shakes Lando's hand and he takes the card from Lando. So maybe it's a young Han. Anyway, it's one of those two. That's my guess.
you're probably right. My other thing that I jotted down was that it could be almost any random clone from Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Because they do, and I haven't watched all of Bad Batch, just whatever. I sort of fell off of it, but they seem to make a distinction all the time between luck and skill.
Sure.
But I like
did
yours
want to
better.
put. I actually typed, going way back to the first thing we talked about in this recording. I put Bad Batch as one of my 7 teams for that very first point, but then I erased it, thinking that probably wouldn't be a thing, but it could be.
Did they do a heist? I don't know.
I don't think so. Well, they do a lot of infiltration. Yeah, I guess they think they would have. But we also did just get a Crosshair card last set, so. And Hunter. So, whatever.
Yeah, how many more of them are there? I don't know.
Tech. We need Tech and Wrecker need to come back.
Hopefully not.
All right, what's next?
No survivors.
Yeah, this was a shot in the dark for me. What would you put?
So, my best guess is Moff Gideon.
Okay.
So when I had to look this up, so he was involved with the Purge of Mandalore.
Yep.
And Purge, they were, hey, no survivors, to wipe them all out.
Yeah.
Although now that I think of it, Sidious says in
Phantom
I think
Menace.
Attack of the Clones, wipe them out, all of them. So
Phantom Menace, talking about the Gungans, yeah.
Or Phantom Menace, yeah. So I don't know. Although if it was him, it would be wipe them out. It wouldn't be no survivors, right? So
I put Darth Vader only because we got very early art spoils of him standing like surrounded by a bunch of rebel troops shooting at him. That I guess was like a panel from one of the Darth Vader comics.
Yeah.
I think that scene has a name that I don't know what it is, but I
think he says the line is something like, "I'm surrounded by fear and dead men."
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, and he wipes out like a whole bunch of guys.
So that's I remembered that image, and I thought that maybe that could go there, but I could be way off too.
Yeah.
All right, was that all of them, or is there? Oh no, we're missing creating a diversion.
Creating a diversion was the last one.
This was tough.
I mean, this could be almost anybody. Whatever. I'll just throw R2D2 out there. Like
that was mine.
He's making smoke screens. He's doing oil slicks. He's doing whatever. The other really out there one would be the Ewok that jumps on the speeder bike at the end of Jedi.
That's so close to what I picked, but I like yours. So I had R2 thinking the scene from Revenge of the Sith where he like starts, all his things start sparking, and then Anakin and Obi-Wan use force pull to get their lightsabers from Grievous.
Yep.
And then the other one was C-3PO on Endor when he calls to the stormtroopers that like go up and try to like arrest them, and then the Ewoks jump out. So very close to yours.
Were you looking for me? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, very close to yours, but I think I like yours better.
Yeah. I don't know if that Ewok has a name, but that's I love that scene.
Nice. All right. Well, we're coming up to just about an hour. So I think you're right. I think we can cut this here. We'll pick up the second half of this article in the next one.
Awesome. See you in part 2.
Yeah, definitely check out the Porg Depot stuff in the video description, and keep an eye out for part 2 of this. But we'll see you then.